perform in that MySQL database. Everything we are going to perform from Python level. Creating a database and a table. What is that? Yesterday I was just showing like creating a database and a table, right? So import PyMySQL, PyMySQL.connect. Okay. MySQL.connect, host is localhost, user is root, password is root. Connection object created. So yesterday you didn't write, right? Write this notes form. Right? See, PyMySQL.connector. PyMySQL is a model. Connect is the function. Connect is the function. using which we are going to connect with the database. Host is the local host. Local host means same system. If remote host means if you give the IP address, the IP address if we give here, it will connect to that. User is a root, password root. Okay, connection object created. If you want to work with, right, two objects required. If you want to work with SQL statements, two objects required. What are the two objects? Connection object and cursor object. How to create cursor object? And the connection object, if you pass cursor method, cursor object created. And cursor dot execute if you are executing any SQL query if you want to execute, cursor object dot execute. Create a database, use the database, create a table, table created successfully, insert the data inserted successfully, commit it and retrieve it, right? The data, observe this, the data which was stored, right? The data which was stored. Select start from sprint means the record output records whatever you get stored in the cursor one object. From row in cursor one, print row, right? Yes. For row in cursor one, print row. Cursor one dot close, con dot close. Finish writing. Fast. Yes, NumPy is the final topic. NumPy is the final topic, right? Yes. Except for batch 122. Except for the batch 122, right? For the remaining batch, one NumPy will be the last topic. NumPy means 122, 123. Means NumPy means I'll be discussing tomorrow, day after tomorrow. NumPy will be there. Means at 12 o'clock, 12:15. Now observe, creating a database. Yes. File, new file. Creating multiple cursor objects. What is it? Creating multiple cursor objects. Multiple cursor objects. By this Friday, everything gets completed for this batch. Hence, here for I'm talking other than 122 and 123 batch, right? Yes, sir. 122 and 123 batch takes time. But a lot of topics are there to be discussed. But other than that, if any others are attending, why? Because there are many students who will be attending from the previous batches. Some will be re-attending. Okay? For those I'm saying, Thursday and Friday will be that NumPy model discussion that completes and this database. And for 122, 123, just we have got a lot of topics to be discussed. Creating multiple cursor objects. Cursor one. For creating a cursor one, what? For creating a table. Cursor two. For inserting data. Cursor three. I'll try to say for your understanding everyone first. Multiple cursor objects. One cursor object for creating, one for inserting, one for retrieving. In the yesterday's class, we have discussed how to create a. We have created one database in mydb 6, right? Import by MySQL. Import by MySQL. By mysql.connect. Okay, here you can say like that. By mysql.connect. By mysql.connect. Okay. Try to say me that host is localhost. Host equal to localhost. User equal to root. Password equal to root. User is root, password is root. Next, database. Database equal to mydb 6. In which database you want to create this table, right? mydb. The connection object gets created. Con equal to connection object gets created. Connection object. After that, creating cursor one object. Creating cursor one object for creating a table. For creating a table, right? See, already one second. where did I save that SQL operations? 1 second. SQL operations I discussed, right? Okay, understood, right? Creating cursor one object for creating a table. So cursor one for creating, cursor two for inserting, cursor three for retrieving, right? Cursor one on the connection object, if I pass cursor, cursor dot execute. Okay, creating table. Create table emp eid ename. Okay, all this, right? Okay, fine. Next, creating cursor to object. Creating cursor to object for inserting. Creating cursor to object for inserting data. Cursor to equal to on dot cursor. Cursor to dot execute. Yes. Now insert into this. Try to say how to insert into. So I'll just bring the data from this. We have created in the last class, right? Insert command. Insert into EMP values, first record, second record, third record, fourth record. 5 records we have inserted, right?
Yes, sir.
For performing some filtering other operations, we require multiple records. And make a note of this. Insert into, keep everything within this double quotes, insert into, control V. Place double quotes and close it. You just try to insert into, why again this? Insert into EMP values. Okay, first 3, 3, 4, 5, right? Inserting some 5 records. Whenever we perform insert, right, what I should do? Okay. Creating cursor. Here actually we need to commit it. Whenever we perform insert or update, we need to commit it for permanently saving. But if you're not committing it, what happens? You check now. Creating cursor 3 object. Cursor 3 object. Retrieving, right? For retrieving. Creating cursor to the object for retrieving data. Cursor 3 dot execute, yes. Cursor 3 dot execute, yes. Select star from yeah. Select star from EMP. Now whatever output you get from this Whatever output you get from this is stored within the cursor3 object. Cursor3 object is not created. Cursor3. How to get cursor3 object? Cursor3 equal to on the connection object. If I pass a cursor method, cursor object created, cursor object, any name you can C1 or CUR1 or CUR2, right? Cursor3 dot execute, select star from EMP. The output, whatever you get from this, will be stored within this cursor3, right? How will you retrieve that one by one? Yes. For row in cursor 3 print row. Cur1 dot close. What is it? Next. Understood everyone? It will create a table, it will insert a data, it is going to retrieve the data. Now observe here, run module, run module, whether it is retrieving the data or not. Yes. Internally table got created, data get inserted, and it is retrieving the data, right? Is insert. Now go and check in the database once everyone. Go and check in this database, right? MySQL. MySQL 8.0 command line client. The password is root is show databases. Which database we are using? mydb6. In that mydb6, show tables. How many tables we have created? Yesterday one, today one. Yesterday student, today EMP. Select star from EMP. Means table got created, data inserted, and data retrieved. We have seen in that Python, right? Now select star from EMP. How many records? Do you see the data in it or not? Will you see data in this or not? Yes or no? Yes. Huh? Say correct only. No, select star from EMP. Will you see the data or not? Yes or no? Hmm? No. Empty set. But you got the data it retrieved the data here, right?
Yes, sir.
But you got the data, it got retrieved. Select means it retrieved the data from the database, right? Because here why you didn't get commit is not happened. Commit. Generally, if you perform any insert operation or update operation, we need to commit it. Then only permanently saves it. So here, after insert, on the connection object dot commit, connection object dot commit. Then for this is what for permanently saving, for permanently saving. Understood everyone? Now after saying con.commit, right? Again, if I try to execute this, you will get error. You should get error. Why? Here at the bottom is it? Already we have created, right? Again, if you are trying to create it, gives error. What you should do? Keep that line in comment. Keep this line in comment, only that way. Remaining everything, we'll insert, select everything. Now run module. Okay. Retrieve the data, right? Again. Close this. Go to database now. Now, can you see data in this or not?
Yes, sir.
Data entered, right? Okay. Now, if I execute this one more time, what happens? If I execute this program one more time, what happens? No, already create. I'm not creating the table again. Inserting. What happens? I'm trying to insert and retrieve. Creating. What happens is the same file records again one more time they will be added to the table. How many times you execute the program? Those many times this duplicates keeps on adding, right? Yes, understood. So how many times? If you execute second time again, file record gets. Finish writing. Write fast. Finish writing. Yeah, I'm coming to this. So here I write a note. Here we can also perform. The above operation. We can also perform the above operation using single cursor object also. Using single cursor object also. But when to go for multiple cursor object means cursor one dot execute, select star from EMP, I will say. Means in cursor one object, what data is stored? Employee data, right? Again, in next line, cursor one dot execute, select star from customer, I will say. What is stored in the cursor one object now? Employee or customer? In the first line, cursor one dot execute, select star from EMP. In second line, select star from customer, I am saying. Now, what is stored in the cursor one object? Employee data or customer data or both? What data? Customer data is stored. Cursor one dot execute EMP, select star from EMP. Next second line, select star from customer. What is stored in the cursor one object? Customer data. Employee data you won't see. But in my program, next line, I want to apply for loop and I want to get the employee data. And again, one more for loop for getting customer data. Can I get employee data? You won't get. No. Customer data you will get. So what you will do? Create cursor one object and say cursor one dot execute EMP. Create cursor two object and say select star from customer. Apply for loop on curve one employee data. Apply for loop on cursor to customer. Understood now? Why two cursor objects? Here this is not required, but even with a single cursor object also we can create. But if you go with the customer and EMP, go with two. So here, whenever we want to retrieve, whenever we want to retrieve whenever we want to retrieve data from multiple tables, whenever we want to retrieve data from multiple tables, then go for multiple cursor objects. Okay, cursor under execute, select start from EMP for retrieving employee data. Let's start from customer, right? For retrieving customer data. For retrieving EMP data and let's start from customer for retrieving customer data, right? Okay, understood, right? Why we go for multiple cursor objects, right? Okay, understood this program, everyone? How to create multiple cursor objects. Next, for these two lines, these three lines going to be common, right? I'll copy this first three lines. Next is right. Performing update and CRUD operations, creating, reading, update and delete. See that update and delete operations, how we perform. Update. You have seen how to create and how to read data, right? How to update and how to delete, right? Updating means, for example, if I perform any updations, it should be reflected in the database also. I want to increment that salary of Blake by 5,000. Salary is 20,000. I need to make it 25,000, right? Now try to say me fast. Yes. Update operation. Update operation, right? Import MySQL. mysql.connect. Import mysql.connect, host, localhost, these things are common. Cursor object, creating cursor object, right? Cursor one. So I'm using single cursor object only this time. Cursor dot cursor, yes. Cursor one dot execute. Cursor one dot execute, yes. Try to say. Already the table is available, right? Which one? EMP table. Directly I can perform update, right? Update, same with the command update. Which table? EMP set salary equal to salary plus 5,000 where EID equal to employee ID equal to 102 or employee name equal to Blake. Okay. Whenever you perform insert or update operation, compulsory we need to commit it. Any insertion or updations are done, commit it. Now cursor one dot execute, cursor one dot execute, right? Select start from EMP. Cursor one dot close, connection dot close. Is ready? Yes. Okay. Next, run module. Why it is not showing any data? We didn't use that for loop, right? But go and check in this database. Updation done or not? Updated, right? 20 became 25,000. If you want to just retrieve the data, right? You here for just one for loop for row in curve one. In the row. Run module. You got it right now? Is displaying. Try to execute everyone for the better understanding tomorrow's class, right? You just to go with the practicals of this. Already we have discussed how to create this SQL operations, working with SQL operations, right? Now next is update operation, right? Next is delete operation. For delete operation, once again I'll copy paste the same thing. See? Now next, file, new file. Okay, by mysql.connect. Okay. Now say the delete operation. Try to say the delete operation. I want to delete the last record 105 with employee ID 105. What is it? Delete from EMP where EID equal to 105. So run module. Can you see that last record got removed? Only 4 records were able to see. Fine. Okay. Next is filtering operation. Finished? uh, filter those. Filter those employees. Who belongs to the city? Who belongs to the city? Hyderabad. Right? Who belongs to the city? Hyderabad. H1ID. Filter those employees who belongs to the city. Hyderabad. Update. Single quote. Double quote document in double quote not allowed. Commit is not required. This also not required. Run module. So only those who belongs to city Hyderabad. Who belongs to the city Hyderabad. Right? Okay. Fine. Now I'll just copy this. Filter those employees. Filter those employees whose salary is whose salary greater than 20,000 and the department number equal to 12, right? Okay. Where salary greater than 20,000, department number equal to who belongs to department 12 and salary above 20,000, right? If you observe carefully, how I am getting the output records, in what data type, in what format I am getting the output records. In the form of tuples. I want in the form of list. Retrieving all the records in the form of a list. Retrieving all the records in the form of a list, right? How can I retrieve all the records in the form of a list? I think that select star from EMP only. In the form of a list I want. For row in curve one is there. For first row, it takes the first row, right? It is getting in tuple format. I want in list format. Say list of row, right? List of row. Row is a tuple type. Typecast to list type. Now observe this output. If you are closing this cursor before it, you get error, right? Here. Keep it now. Cut it. Okay. And now observe this run module. List you got, right? In the form of list. Means in the tuple you cannot modify it, right? Now in the case of list, you can modify it. Now if you are able to modify, then try to modify this is only 30 to 35. It doesn't see here this result you got from the database. Result you got from the data. After getting from the database, now you modify, I'm saying. Not in the, I doesn't want to modify in the database level. I want just to perform some. Understood, right? How will you do? How will you modify this?
Without using commit.
Understood my query first? How to modify? It's a list, right? Why we converted to list? Means if list is there, we can modify its values. That may what are the values? Modify the 30 to 35 then. What is the list name? What is the list? Okay, in that case, what you do is what EMP, where the EMP came from. So here retrieving all the records Storing within the list. Retrieving all the records and storing within the list. Store within the list all the retrieved records, right? So how can we do that? Yes. Take a empty list. Empty list. Control V. Control Z. Control V. What is it here? X dot print X. ID name salary, right? X of 0, 1, 2 of 2. Understood everyone? Run more. Now check it. This was what, right? After that, it became 35,000, right?
Yes.
This is a list of list, and here list of list for the updated one, right? Write it first. Right? And the other things like some more operations on this SQL, right? From Python level, how can we do? And transaction management and exception handling within the database. If any wrong username given, wrong password given within the database, how to handle those? I'll discuss tomorrow, right? If exceptions within the database, transaction management, other SQL operations, can discuss tomorrow.